Hard to believe they left me nothing. My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
You mean this is real? No wonder I can't wake up.
And here I thought that Ferelden you ran off with was a mage, not a jester. Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amells were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amells have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in Pinafores, girl. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Oh, of course not. Why should you do something reasonable?
That touched a nerve. What's in there that you don't want us to see?
Nothing. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
What daft bastard leaves that behind?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Maker, what a mess. I want to make things better for Mother. But some of what Gamlen says, I'm having a hard time hating him. Playing caretaker for someone else's life. Stuck in their shadow. That's no way to live.
And there it is.
Look, if you want to join the fight over who lost the most, fine. But I never lived here. Mother even gave me her old key to try and stir something. But I didn't know Grandfather. Finding his will doesn't matter to me.
You want a connection? This is where we'll find it.
The once mighty Amells? A bunch of slavers are squatting on that dusty glory.
What have you heard?
Uncle's a chatty drunk. He was up to his neck and signed everything over. That's who has the estate. Apparently, the most extensive wine cellar in Kirkwall is now a slave highway from the Undercity. That's the family legacy.
I don't know about you, but that makes me a little angry.
We agree at last.
So, forgetting everything else, what would you do with slavers?
Only one thing their kind deserves.
We agree at last.
All right, sister. If the key works, we'll clear the estate from the Undercity up. So this is it? Grandfather's will? Let's just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
I don't think there's any point in delaying the news.
So I'm just saying... blood... blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a... monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should... maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her. The estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
You'll spend the rest of your life paying my mother back for what you stole.
Andraste's ass, I will.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make a willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
Hello, Lord Carver.
We're still a long way from cowing Templars with our titles, sister.
You could slap on a smile for a few days. For her sake.
She's not interested in what I think. She wants to provide for us, and you're making sure it happens. And when we're done, I don't know, I guess we'll sit around thinking about how great we used to be. Mother didn't even want that life back until we got dumped here. And you only care because we're under Templar scrutiny.
You hating everything I do is really losing its charm.
Sure, make light. Why take anything seriously? You're the eldest. You lead by default.
I don't see you taking the reins.
When should I do that? When I'm following you around, or when I'm caring for Mother while you tame mighty Kirkwall? Besides, we both know what happens when someone leaves dear sister's protection. I'm sure Bethany would appreciate that you're keeping good humor.
Fun's fun, but you're taking this little pissing match too far.
What? You don't like someone making a joke out of everything you are?
I don't see the humor in digging up Bethany so you can hide behind her, too. Well, good talk.
Sister. I feel... I don't know. It's like Mother taking everything out on us. She was just scared. I don't have a place in the life she is trying to bring back. I'm here if you need me. But I must find my own way.
So, what? Are you here to gloat? Gamlen's the idiot again. Gamlen's the fool who can't hold his money when it's given in a bloody silver basket. I tried, you know, when Leandra left. But no one was ever going to live up to her.
What was she like, as a girl?
We're only a year apart. But that was time enough for Leandra to get our parents wrapped firmly around her little finger. They showed her off at every opportunity. The beauty, the scholar, the light of their lives. As far as they were concerned, they should have stopped there.
I've seen the nobles in this town. Your parents must have had a fortune. Where did it all go?
Well, it's not like I stood at the side of the wharf and hurled it over. I tried to invest it. I got some good tips on trade in Kunari cheeses. And, you know, a man's got needs. I'm not denying I spent more on myself than I should have, but I figured it'd all work out.
So, the best way to make Daddy love you was to steal his money?
I changed their filthy sheets and wiped their chins through 2 bouts of the cholera, and the last word Father said was... Leandra. I'm not looking for love, but at least I got the money.
I'm with you, sister. For now.
Your mother's busy writing to the Viscount.
When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
The estate is yours. Why are we still here?
Technically, the house is now property of the Viscount, since its owner died without an heir. If we went there now, we would just be squatters. But if the Viscount acknowledges our rights, we can get back more than the house. We can get back our name.
Your mother's dead. Let it go.
When I was a girl, your grandmother was the young, beautiful, noble mother all my friends wished they had. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Oh, Bethany. She was such a sweet little girl. Never cried, just looked at you with those big eyes.
She was so young to be taken from us.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
At least you're past the "it's all your fault" thing.
I'm sorry, love. I was distraught. I never really believed that. It's just... I miss her. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartrand's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Bethany, but with luck, I can at least give us a home.